welcome back to Worlds of Wonder in Planet Coaster 2, where we are making my first massive themed area in my theme park. If you're new here, we are building a 21 Pilots themed area based off the band 21 Pilots, if you couldn't tell. And today is the day. It's been a long time coming. We are finally making the main ride for the area. The massive roller coaster that's going to be, it's going to be an indoor coaster. It's going to be themed to 21 Pilots, and I'm so excited to show you. And I'm very happy with the layout. So today, like I said, we're fully building the layout today, and we begin theming the queue line as well. And this is sort of another thing with the whole land. With this whole theme, I've kind of thought of the theming and the set pieces before I make any of the rides, and I don't know, it's kind of helped me a lot because it's like before I made this ride, I didn't really know what the actual ride was even going to be. It was either going to be a dark ride or a coaster. Ended up going with a coaster, but before even building it, I thought I have a great idea for the queue line, so I just basically made that first, and here we are. But yeah, if you don't know about the area, I'm going to give you a quick rundown if you're new here. We have already made pretty much, I'd say about 70% of the area. We're coming near the end. We've already added one flat ride, which is a drop tower, and that is in the Dima Towers. If you don't know what Dima is, basically, I've said it before in the other episodes, it's an evil city, and that's all you need to know. But yeah, we added a drop tower theme to Dima. We've added loads of shops. We've added gift shops, cafes. We've even added a recreation of a real life shop in the game. Basically, if you want to check it out, go see the other episodes. We have done a lot in the game. But yeah, welcome to episode 5. We're finally dealing with the big boys, the adult stuff, the roller coasters. And yeah, we're building the layout today. So I knew I wanted this ride to be I think it's called a multi-dimension roller coaster, I think. And this ride model can basically spin round a full 360. You can do controlled spin, so you can make the ride face whatever direction you want at any point. And it's got a load of little show scenes as well. So for example, you'll see as I'm making the ride, the coaster stops every now and then. You kind of stop at a little show scene where I'm going to add all the theming, and then you launch backwards, and then it's going to be indoors, so it's going to be quite dark. And then there's another show scene. So that's why I wanted to do it, because this whole area is so themed. I didn't want an indoor coaster to be fully pitch black and you don't know where you're going. I wanted there to be some detailed theming in the coaster, and it's not going to be fully around. You're not going to see theming at every single point in the ride. There is going to be a couple dark spaces, but most of all, it's going to be very themed and very high tech, if I do say so myself. But yeah, like I said, that won't be this episode. We're doing the layout today. I can only do so much. And also, I wanted to get this video out before I go to Paris, because I'm going to Disneyland Paris in a couple days. So there probably won't be a Worlds of Wonder episode out then. So you're getting it now. Actually, when you're watching this, I'm probably in Paris. So I hope I'm having a good time. But anyway, yeah, in terms of specifically what this ride is going to be themed to, I think it's going to be themed to a sort of underground system. So basically, in the 21 Pilots lore, you've got the bad guys and you've got the good guys. The bad guys are called bishops, the good guys are called banditos, and this ride is going to be themed to banditos. So with the whole queue line and everything, basically, with the queue line, you walk into a recording studio, what's a good example? Jimmy Fallon, whatever that late night show is called. It's going to be like that. So you're walking into a late night show recording, and that is the queue line. But then you look a bit closer at the queue line, and you'll notice there's a little crack in the wall, and the queue line will direct you into that crack. Careful. And that is basically the bandito hideout. So the banditos have broken through that wall and trying to get you out of the city of Dima, and that's where this whole ride is going to take place. You're going to go through all the underground caves and alleyways, stuff like that. And I don't know what the ride vehicle is going to be, but you might be getting onto a sort of motorbike type thing. Obviously the ride vehicle is a lot thicker than a motorbike, but you know what I mean, an escape vehicle. So you're going to get on that, and it's going to be a fun ride. It's going to be fun. You probably see the layout. It's very long as well. You get your money's worth, because if we're basing this park off of Epic Universe, which we are, this is kind of the Harry Potter ride, so it's going to get a big queue. But yeah, the underground caves lead into where you'd get onto the ride vehicle, and that's an underground bandito camp where they hang out to avoid getting caught. And yeah, you get on the ride. I don't know how I'm going to end it as well. I don't know if you're going to be if you're going to successfully escape Dima, or you're going to be stuck there forever. But either way, we shall find out. That's not a me situation. Like I said, I'm going to Paris in a couple days, so I can kind of think about it then when I'm in a queue for about 4 hours. But anyway, yeah, so the ride vehicle spins throughout the whole ride. and I haven't like programmed that into the ride yet because I don't fully know where I want it to spin and like what the theming is going to be at every angle. But just do know it is going to spin in the ride. I just need a plan first. But yeah, either way, I'm very happy with the coaster. And like I said, it was going to be a dark ride at first, but my last project in this game was a dark ride and it took me so long. So I kind of wanted to give it some time to sink in, I guess, that I made that ride. And do a coaster because I love coasters. I haven't done one in the park yet. Like I said, we've only got one ride at the moment, so a coaster is a good fit. I want to have loads of rides in the park, loads of coasters. No matter where you look, you could get on a ride. And yeah, very, very cool. So moving on to the building as a whole, I wanted this building to look like a very old style, like cinema entrance. Basically, you know them like triangular boards that you have outside a cinema, and it will tell you what film is playing when. Very Back to the Future-esque, if you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I wanted to add that as like the facade for the building because it looks quite grand and it kind of catches your eye because you got all the big flashing lights out the front. So if you didn't know where the coaster is, follow the big flashing lights and you'd find your way. But yeah, I wanted that to be the facade. I thought it looked really cool. It's quite bold as well, and it fits in perfectly with like the recording studio type of theme that I'm going for. Very Jimmy Fallon-esque at Universal Studios, just a bit older looking, I guess. So yeah, the whole plot with the ride is that you're going to the Good Day Dima live recording. That's why it says Good Day Dima on all the signs, everything like that. Good Day Dima is like the morning show or like the late night show that they have in Dima. And then, yeah, that connects with what I said earlier. With you go in the show, you see the little crack in the walls, and then you follow that, and then you get to the underground bandito camp. So it's all connected. Hopefully you know what I'm talking about now. And yeah, the last couple of days have been me basically making this whole recording studio. And as I do, as always, looking at images on Google helps so much because the amount of cool buildings that there are on Google, like it helps so much. And I'm very happy with the final outcome. And I think it works really well with like the New York style buildings that we've got in the whole area. And I also like how it's a little bit hidden away in the corner. Like you kind of have to know where it is to get to it. From a guest point of view, that's probably very annoying, but lol, not me. And yeah, like I said at the beginning of the episode, I kind of had this in mind before I even knew what kind of ride I wanted to make. And that's why I think I've enjoyed this area so much, because I've been planning it for so long. Ever since Planet Coaster 1 was around, I've been planning this area. So to finally have it in Planet Coaster 2 and be able to like shrink down elements and stuff, like I cannot even begin to imagine how hard this would have been to make in Planet Coaster 1. Like it would have been impossible, especially to make it look as recreation-y as possible. Like it would have been so difficult. So thank you, Frontier, if you're listening. Thank you for making this game. I'm having a great time. But yeah, as you can see on screen right now, we're making the ticket booth for the front of the ride. You can't use it, it's not a practical ticket booth, obviously. It's just a little bit of theming for the entrance of the building, because I don't want all the buildings in the area to look flat. I think that's one of the main things that makes like Planet Coaster 2 builds look a little bit weird, is when I make things too flat. So yeah, very easily just make something stick out, and it's normally fine. That's what I've learned. And actually, annoyingly, I didn't film the interior of this little like studio lobby. I only filmed the main set piece that you walk into, but I will show you the lobby. You'll probably see it in the cinematics or whatever, but there will be a full tour out, don't you worry. If you didn't see in the last episode, I said when this area is completely finished, I'm going to be doing a full tour of the area, going through all the queue lines, all the rides, and yeah, just to make sure you're not missing out on anything. Don't you go worrying. But yeah, the main lobby is quite orangey. I've gone with like orange and black as the colour scheme, because Good Day Dima is orange, if you didn't know. It's orange, brown, yellow, that sort of colour scheme. So there'll be a lot of colours in the lobby to do with orange. And there you go. I'm also going to do some custom media for the screens as well. I'm going to have like a little animated arrow saying Good Day Dima recording, Studio 1 this way, just for the queue line, just to make it look a little bit more kinetic and not so flat and boring. So yeah, I will be doing that soon, not in this video, but that's sort of an off-camera thing, because I don't really like recording me making like graphics and stuff for the screens, because it's a lot of like trial and error, especially when I'm putting it over multiple screens and I kind of have to measure dimensions and stuff like that. But just so you know what it is, it's me on Photoshop having a nightmare pretty much and getting like assets from the band. There's a lot of people on like Twitter who have recreated like all the assets. I know there's one person who I use a lot. I think they're called Monster, and they have like recreated every single graphic 21 Pilots have ever made from each like album, and they put it on a massive Google Drive, and that's what I've been using for all the logos and stuff, because I could not have made them by myself. So yeah, that's what I've been using. Very helpful. If you're somehow listening, thank you very much for making them. You've made my life double times easier than it was before. But yeah, finishing touches of the lobby before we move on to the main set pieces. Very like Hollywood inspired. There's a lot of like neon lights everywhere. Old cinema style as well. I mean, I looked on Google for like old cinema inspiration, but I mean, it's a good thing, but every cinema looked completely different, so it kind of didn't really help. But I took elements, especially like the black panel ceiling. You won't see it in this video, but you know the panel ceiling that we have in the UK, where it's just white and grey tiles on the ceiling? They have black ones in cinemas, so I thought, yeah, why not? It looks quite run down. So I thought it'd fit perfect in the area, because the whole area is supposed to look run down. So yeah, that's perfect. That is going in this main area. And speaking of the main queue area, let's talk about the set pieces I have made for this area, because I am super happy with the end result of it. It's just so cool. So there is 2 main set pieces in the massive studio recording queue line bit that you walk into. We've got the Good Day Deemer sofa and the area where they sit down and talk to their guest. And you've got the performance area, which is the massive blue, yellow and pink sort of folded semicircle that the band 21 Pilots perform at in the live stream. So I thought these 2 would be a good representation of the band and Deemer, because obviously Deemer, the evil people, they're trying to make the city look as appealing as possible so you get stuck there forever. That is pretty much the whole mission of their evil ways. So trying to make everything look bright and colourful, and them 2 set pieces are the first things you see when you're watching the live stream as well. So yeah, it works perfectly. So the Good Day Deemer set piece is basically a sofa in front of a background. It's pretty simple. The only hard bit I ran into was finding a good item for the pillows, because the pillows, I mean, they're meant to look fluffy, but there's no fluffy items in the game. So I used square pieces. They didn't look great, and I think in the end it was a submarine wall, I think, that I found, but when coloured orange, it perfectly blended in, and it just worked. It looked like pillows. So thank you very much, Aquatic Pack. You helped me make pillows somehow. But yeah, they work perfectly. I'm very happy with them. And yeah, like I said, that is the main sofa bit where the 2 hosts would sit down and talk to the guest. And then the second set piece I'm making is the performance area for the band. So it's basically a colourful semicircle folded in half. That is pretty much it. And yeah, it's all art pieces. There's nothing fancy going on there. But at the end of the day, I think it looks fine, and you're not gonna focus on it as well. You're not seeing it in the queue line constantly. You sort of brush past it, go into the secret crack in the wall. But yeah, I don't think it looks too bad. So I'm very happy with it. Overall, the whole studio building, I'm so happy with it. You don't spend that long in it if it's a quick queue, but if you queue in there for 7 hours, you'll have a look. But yeah, I'm super happy with it. I do think it's a little bit big if it was being made in real life, but the good thing is about this game, it's a game. It doesn't need to be real life. I am trying to make the park as realistic as possible. So hey, I'm going with a universal budget here. If we need to spend the money to make it look cool, we're going to spend the money. But yeah, very, very happy with that. So moving on to the audience side of that studio recording area. Obviously, it's a late night show, so you need a live audience. And the seats that I've made there, I copied them from Melody Manor, pretty much. I already made them before, so I thought I don't need to make them again. Let's make it a blueprint, and I copied them over, changed the colour, made them black, and the rest is history. That's it. That's all I did to him. And yeah, I think it looks really good. I think the steps are a little bit too steep, but at the end of the day, it's a game, like I said, so it doesn't really matter. And people aren't going to sit on them in real life as well, so they don't need to be functioning seats. They're fine the way they are. But yeah, little finishing touches that I didn't record as well. I put big speakers in there, so if you're in the audience, theoretically, you can hear whatever's going on stage. Cameras I've dotted around as well, cables, buckets, stuff that you would find on an actual set, I've put in there. and I think it brings it all together. So there's still a couple finishing touches that I need to do in the area and the queue line, but for now I'm very happy with how everything's gone. And yeah, mainly the coaster layout. I can't wait to theme up that coaster. It might take 2 episodes to like get the whole coaster fully sorted, but apart from that, I think it's looking good. And yeah, off camera I'm gonna make the coaster spin a little bit more because I'm gonna get a proper idea of what I'm doing with my life. But apart from that, I'm very happy with everything, and I'm gonna have a proper think about it in Paris, because I mean this whole park is inspired by Epic Universe in Florida, so going there gave me a lot of inspiration. So going to Paris is definitely going to give me more, and I can't wait to get back and make the park for you. But there we go. Let me know what you think down below. If you have any more ideas for the themes of coasters or rides, let me know down below. I read every comment and all your comments are brilliant, so thank you very much for watching. And yeah, it means a lot, so thank you for watching. That has been Worlds of Wonder episode 5. Like I said, next episode we are making the theming for the ride. It's going to be great, and yeah, I'll see you there. So thank you very much again, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.